We're going to look at how to stay calm when you're about to start your driving test and stay calm when you're on your driving test. I would say that the majority of people who take their driving test are nervous of some sort. Some look like they're ice cool and the nerves are not going to affect them. The majority of people, it affects them to a certain degree in the first 5 or 10 minutes. Small portion of people, it affects them a lot on the driving test where they drive completely differently. Unfortunately for them, it might take them a few more times to pass the driving test, even though they know they can drive. So how can you stay calm on your driving test? The answer to that would be practice to the point where you are confident with your driving. This is before your driving test, by the way, so you're preparing things in advance. So as well as having driving lessons, if your instructor says to you, you're ready for your driving test now, let's get you in for your driving test, or your driving test is booked for a month away and you've been preparing for it and yeah, you're going to be fine. If you don't feel fine, then don't take your test. If you feel like, oh God, I can't do maneuvers, there's one maneuver I don't know, well, practice that maneuver. And get to the point where you can drive safely without your instructor or your family member telling you what to do. So if they're saying to you, slow down a bit here, then that shouldn't be happening, should it? They should be saying to you, right, let's drive following the sat-nav. And they'll say, there's a sat-nav, off you go, and they'll just watch. And they shouldn't be saying anything really. They might talk to you a little bit, but to be a bit more realistic, then what they should be doing is treating it like a bit of a driving test at that point. So the examiner's not going to say much to you, so they need to be quiet. And if you're following road signs, same idea. They need to be being quiet so that you can just drive and concentrate. And the actual silence of that situation is quite scary. There's quite a few pupils that I've taught over the years, and they'll say to me, one of the weirdest things is how quiet the test was, because usually I'm used to you talking, James, they'll say to me, but now I'm on the driving test and the exam says, follow that sat nav, and they'll sit back and they'll obviously be watching my student at that point, but it's the silence gets to someone. So practice the independent driving so you can do it for 20 minutes at least, sat nav or road signs. Be good and be confident you can do that quite well. Try driving from one end to the other of the town or village that you live at, or the city, without any help. Obviously you're going to have someone next to you to kind of say, well, you need to follow the signs for this, or I want you to follow the road ahead, things like that. And try and do things safely. If you know you can do that without the person next to you helping you, then you're going to feel confident that you can do these things. And like I say, the manoeuvres, know all 4 manoeuvres. There's no point in going in there knowing 2 manoeuvres and the other 2 you're thinking, I hope I don't get them because I can't do them, because you can guarantee you're going to get them. And the other thing also would be to have some mock tests. And I say this to lots of people, a mock test goes a long way to preparing you for your driving test. And I know it doesn't matter if you don't pass the mock test, because you learn from the experience. So if you don't pass, so what? You've learned from it. It's not cost you anything apart from your driving lesson at that point. But it's better to practice that and get used to that, the way the test route runs. Because if you're not used to 40 minutes of it crammed in, it's like, why are they pulling me over? What have I done wrong? Nothing. It's this sort of thing you get done on the test. So get used to being asked to be pulled over 5 times, being asked to move off 5 times. And it's pretty quick. They'll say, pull over on the left. So as you're pulling over, off you go when you're ready. Simple things you'll leave the signal on. So get used to that stress. Get used to that chaos of how much is crammed into that driving test. So mock tests are quite important leading up to your driving test. So if you can drive on your own without help from your instructor, if you know all 4 manoeuvres, if you've done a 2 to 3 mock tests where you feel happy that you're pretty good at what you're doing, then you're going to feel confident. So when you're going for that driving test, you will feel a little bit nervous in the first few minutes, but once you settle down, you're going to be fine. And you'll know back of your mind you can do this, all right? But if you go in there knowing that you're not very good at independent driving, one of your manoeuvres is a bit dodgy, or the fact that your clutch is a bit dodgy, so you might stall every now and then. Every time you come to a hill start, you worry. So prepare for the test by making sure that you can do the things correctly, Make sure you know the questions, the show me, tell me questions that they're going to ask you also, because if you don't know them, you're going to worry about them. And all these little worry things kind of build up, and it causes you to get a little bit stressed and a little bit, oh, I don't feel so calm. And there's other things that people talk about, using rescue remedies and things like that. If you're going to go down that side of it, then I would suggest you try these things in advance, so that if they don't agree with you, then it's not actually on your test. Don't suddenly take it on the day. I'll have that on my day and I'll see how I get on. I'll chance it. Try it a month before, see how you react. You might go, spit it all out, it's horrible. Or you take a tablet or whatever it is you're going to do. But try it a month before so that you can get used to what it actually tastes like. And I'll say to people, bring a bottle of water along. If you've got mints, bring them along. Have a little polo mint. That'll help kind of calm you down. That helps. And if you're one of these people who likes to eat, like I do, then bring a banana along. So when you're waiting to go in, have a quick banana. Give it to the instructor to put in the bin while you're driving around. Enjoy it, the test. Think of it as a lesson. That's what I had to say to some students. Don't think of it as a test, think of it as a lesson. You go in there, it's a different instructor today. All right? But do practice if you can. Get as much as you can in. Good luck on the test, and I hope this helps you to calm down.